ready for more chaos. Mwahahaha. Hello, my name is Ella Jean, your local fantasy author. And today we return to the lovely Scarlet Smith and apparently her bid to stop the apocalypse. Where we last left off, Scarlet got a magical lesson from Vanessa, and we got implications that Exophon and Baratil have a deeper relationship than it seems to appear. And I revealed that it's because they're gay, and Exophon used to be an angel, and they dated when they were angels. Just so you know, this is a complete side tangent, and I'm so sorry for that. I never wrote a book due to this. I've talked about it pretty often, that I actually cried when I went back to edit this and thought it was the worst thing ever written and was super disappointed. 14-year-old with anxiety and depression. I did plan out what was going to be a trilogy, and I literally planned for Exophon to be caught, tortured, and kind of sort of turned back into an angel through torture and brainwashing, and have it be horrendous through a book 2 for him. Because apparently, even at 14, I was like, ooh, gay drama. Keep the boys apart. The heartache and yearning is what we need. 14-year-old Ella just wrote better romance. At least had better romance plans than 22-year-old Ella. I don't know if that's something to be proud of. Anyway, that is off track. Maybe we'll stay on track this time, but I think Ella's tracks just go wild. We start chapter 8. Only Baratil is in her house. And Baratil asks her, she says she's making dinner. And Baratil's like, hey, can you make something for me? It's been a while since I've been in the human realm, and I was curious what food tasted like. This girl makes an angel who hasn't been in the human realm for a while boxed mac and cheese. For the record, I think that's the second time Scarlet in this book makes mac and cheese. The girl has a diet that is impressive. And she just literally makes Baratil box mac and cheese. Baratil's disappointed in the food. And Scarlet with her balls of steel looks at this angel that's scowling and says, if you don't like it, you can give it to me. I said, then just continued eating. Even Baratil's scowling couldn't ruin this for me. She's sitting here blissed out on boxed macaroni and cheese. You know what? Same. I respect that. And Baratil just starts making dinner. This is obviously the moment where they're starting to come together, and she's recognizing that they aren't just all evil and all that, because, I need to cool Baratil out slightly. The man's a bit of a stick in the mud menace. And he hands her a bunch of cheeses and says, all your sad excuse for dinner is made of macaroni and cheese, right? He asked me, yep, that's the name of the dish after all. I snapped back, and it isn't a sad excuse for dinner. And she starts helping him make better macaroni and cheese, and I love this. She's like, food. Baratil just summons things out of nowhere, looking for macaroni. Making this food makes him very happy, which once again gets back into the point of, I made good omens without ever having read good omens. This is a Xerophil. This is a Xerophil loving human food. What the fuck? I hadn't read good omens. There is no original book, that's for sure. He grabs the plates from their table and scrapes her mac and cheese in the trash. And serves her better mac and cheese. I love that. And she's like, this is the best mac and cheese I've ever had. And then we have a moment of silence and contemplation. From Baratil. I used to cook all the time, but ever since I've been fighting more, I've had very little time to cook, and only one person ever seemed to appreciate it anyway. He said. He had a faraway look in his eyes, and well, he isn't here anymore. I went silent. Baratil seemed lost in his own world, like he was forgetting he was talking to a human. Did he die? I asked. But it might be my only chance to get to know Baratil, and I was going to take it. No, not quite, but I leaned forward. Just when he was about to finish his statement, the door flew open. Standing on the other side was Exophon. Apparently he had finished his cooldown and decided to come back to the dorm. Baratil immediately shut up and the smile disappeared. It was replaced by a scowl at Exophon. What are you doing back? Baratil demanded. It almost sounded like he was sad that he was being interrupted. I was bored and hungry, so I thought Firebug might have some food I could eat, he snapped. I thought demons didn't need food, I said. Exophon glared at me. We don't, but I'm allowed to like food, aren't I? He didn't leave much room for argument. I would have told him that he wasn't hungry, he just wanted food. But I decided he might kill me for that, so I kept my mouth shut. She had a shred of common sense. Well, help yourself. There's mac and cheese on the stove, I said. I didn't know you can cook, he questioned me. Apparently she can, Baratil interjected. I gave him a look, but he wouldn't meet my eyes. He just kept looking down at his food. I decided to drop it. The happy bubble we had been in was broken, and I was back to just another human. Exophon walked over the stove with a plate. He sniffed the mac and cheese and looked back at Baratil with a questioning look. Is there something wrong? Baratil asked. All the compassion that had been in his voice he had been talking while making food was gone. His voice was sharp and accusing. This just doesn't seem like something our human could make, he retorted. Felt like I was a child they were forced to babysit. I could feel myself getting angry, and the necklace Vanessa had given me was heating up. I just took a deep breath and calmed down. I didn't want to find out what happens when I didn't have a staff to activate it. Well, it was, so drop it, Baratil yelled. He shot up, slamming his hands down on the table. He stalked out the room, heading for the door of the dorm that Exophon left open, slamming it behind him. Okay, the human definitely cooked this, he sarcastically responded, but he still started eating, scarfing it down like me. The tension. The drama. Ignore the fact that, every sentence is repetitive as hell. I can't say that much in that respect. I know I keep making fun of, the fact that I use voice twice in 2 sentences and it's, really obvious, but Big Ella isn't good at, on first drafts, making the writing cohesive and flowing and beautiful and not reusing things like that. That's a 3rd draft edit. So to have it here isn't that big of a deal, but the idea that Baratil gets so offended at food because he loves food and used to cook for Exophon and him, and he makes it. And he feels happy, and he gets to share it with someone in Scarlet, even though she's this human. Only for Exophon to come in and to immediately clock that it's Baratil's food, and the two just have a private tiff about it. Where Scarlet's sitting there going, what's between those two? I like it. It's well planned. I'm gonna fucking rewrite this book, aren't I? Add it to my list of things I need to do. Rewrite this book into a good book. And she ends with the chapter with trying to get the staff to work. And there's an interesting observation that she tries to muster up other emotions, because that's how chaotic magic works. It's tied to emotions. And she says, I guess anger was the only emotion that is strong enough right now. And that is very much reflective on how she feels, and the fact that she's just so angry at the situation she's in, that no other emotion is really playing out, is interesting. It's a neat concept and a recognition. She's, like I've said before, unlike any other character I've ever written. I usually do the sad, anxious characters, which sounds so pathetic, but then the little pathetic cat characters, and Scarlet isn't that. And it's fun to read. Chapter 9. We start with literally fast forwarding through a week that is apparently uneventful. So basically, she's going to her classes, but she's also just walking around trying to find whatever decision she's supposed to make. Because remember, the angel and the demon don't know what she's supposed to be doing. She's just supposed to be doing something that they know will stop the apocalypse. Some choice at some point will stop this apocalypse. And she... they don't know what it is, so they're just kind of following her. And I do love that idea. And this quote right here is where I get into the possibility of I might be slightly autistic. She comes outside and her roommate Sam is still up. Sam is the party girl who has great grades. Did you have a long night? I asked. I knew the answer was yes. I just wanted to make small talk. That is the most realist moment of that situation where you're like, yeah, I know what the answer is going to be, but that is what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to make small talk, regardless of if we know what the answer will be. That is just the thing. And like, Exafon doesn't know why she looks like this, because she has this, like, makeup still on, but in her pajamas. And what's she doing? Why does she look like this, he asked. I didn't respond, didn't even acknowledge him. Didn't need Sam thinking I'm crazy on top of everything else. But Exafon kept insisting, so I asked Sam, where were you last night? I asked her, hoping it would satisfy Exafon's questions. I was at a party, she shrugged. It was just a normal night. I just stared at her. College parties has always seemed crazy to me. For her to say that it was normal seemed insane. Oh yeah, she stated. You don't go to many parties. You should come with me next time. There's one this Sunday. It's supposed to be really fun. She gushed. She shrugged, she started, and she gushed are all in one paragraph. What was little Ella thinking? Scarlett has been invited to a party. I think she'll end up going. I remember very little of this book. Very little. Especially outside of the first couple of chapters. And the overarching gay shit, because I have a personal investment in gay shit. So I usually remember when a book has gay shit. And she surmises that Exafon hasn't been to a party since the Victorian era. He thinks this new party is, like, super cool. Then I contradict myself in one sentence. Vanessa was right. You really don't go to Earth a lot, I ventured. I was worried he would clam up, or worse, lash out, when I mentioned that Vanessa talked about him, but he just smiled. I go to this realm all the time, Firebug, but I hardly go to the human parts, he explained. Why not? Human stuff is always boring. And with the apocalypse, I've hardly had any time to come here. I visit my friends when I do. He literally just says I go to this realm all the time. On some moments, I'm like, little Ella, this isn't actually so bad, because this is kind of where a lot of first drafts end up, where they need just significant editing, and that's just part of the problem. But then I have things like contradicting myself in literally 2 lines. And I question. No, let's be nice. I recognize the progress I have made in my current books. We will leave it there. Because you're supposed to think good things about yourself. She gets to Vanessa's and literally spends 3 hours attempting to activate the staff without anything but anger. Okay, Firebug, just use a happy memory. That shouldn't be too hard, should it? Exafon said, turning to me. He seemed anxious to do something, or for something to happen. Tried to concentrate on a happy memory. A memory that stands out, that I could use to activate magic. But I came up with nothing. There was no standout memory. I don't think I have a memory like that, I finally said. Exafon just sighed and went back to pacing, but Vanessa gave me a worried look. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have lovely memories of my family, and I have memories of Ethan, but nothing stands out. I don't have a special moment with any of them, which I think little Ella is supposed to be sitting here and be like, oh, no, don't get me wrong, I have lovely memories of my family, so I'm fine and healthy. But I think what we're seeing here is little Ella was depressed. And so she wrote to Scarlett that is depressed, but she hasn't acknowledged that she's depressed. So she hasn't realized that not having any single happy memory that you can concentrate on isn't a healthy thing. That's upsetting. Woo! Sorry to bring the mood down. I'm doing fine now. I have tons of happy memories. Like, seriously, I know I'm saying this like I'm being stupid, but no, I'm actually doing a lot better. Medicine. Vanessa pulls her way away, not to talk about, the fact that she has no specific happy memory, but it's like, Exafon's acting a little bit strange, don't you think? I don't know where I was trying with this. I'm like, do you think it would have anything to do with his obsession with humans? What did you tell him? I told her what I told him. That may be the cause. It's weird. He's never done anything like this. Become obsessed with something. Hopefully his obsession dies away soon and things will go back to being normal. The fuck? You're supposed to be his somewhat friend. Jesus, harsh much. And then Vanessa promises to teach Scarlet how to fight. So then, hopefully, Scarlet can defend herself against scary knife girls with knives. AKA, I don't think learning how to fight is going to save her ass, but we'll go with it. We'll convince ourselves of that. These don't feel like very long chapters. I think little Ella is struggling with the messy middle, where I know where I'm going, but like you need to do some sort of things to get there. And since I don't have anything to do when I get here, I wrote this entire book without an outline. It is the only time I ever successfully did that. It's just kind of floundering as with things are happening, things are going, she's learning skills. So when later she saves her own ass with like magic or fighting, you don't go, how did an unintelligent human do that? I don't know. These weren't bad chapters. I still come back to, I think my scenes are great. I think my pacing and flow are horrendous. But that is okay. We'll see if anything happens with Exafon's obsession of humans. I don't remember what I was trying to set up. Maybe an excuse to drag Scarlet to the party and like, oh, she's trying to dispel the obsession with humans. I don't know. Leave your guesses in the comments below. Until then, I have a Patreon for $5 a month. It has a whole bunch of like my old writing, and you can read the chapters in their entirety. I post them up about 30 minutes before the video goes live, so you can read the chapters early if you ever want. Outside of that, I'm going to start posting my high fantasy book there. It is the second book I ever finished writing, but now it's been much more edited. I've been working on it for 8 years. It was my college thesis. It's a decent book. At this point, it's not this. You can follow me on Blue Sky. I post a lot about the querying process and eventually completing and quite possibly stop querying into self-publishing. But regardless, I always remember that writing is difficult, and daring to continue past the first page is brave, especially the way the world is right now. I want to form community with you, because I truly believe, and that we've seen, anyone can write, and everyone has a story in them. Thanks!